Right then, exciting times. I believe James is here to collect the A5, so let's go through and see him. I don't know how giddy he's going to get. James?
Alright.
How's things?
Yeah, not too bad, cheers.
Good day for you, eh?
Yeah, very good day.
Yeah, nice. Well, we'll go straight through.
Yeah.
Have a look round it and
Yeah.
get out in it. And I think I'll drive it first.
Yeah.
And then,
Probably the best idea.
yeah, because I went out with somebody yesterday and they drove a bit steady, so
Right.
we'll drive it properly. Anyway, she's here. It's not even unlocked. Basically, we're going to replace it with another one nearly the same.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no.
just going to go for a later engine, but we've gone as far as we wanted to go with this anyway. It's yeah, it does what we need it to do. It's been a good project. Been really happy doing it. A couple of little things we'll talk about when we're on road test, see what you want to do with it and what have you.
Yeah, no.
But well, we'll go for a run first because I think it's a bit wet. We'll pull it back in. We'll pull it back in there after and then have a look round it and see what's what anyway. So, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I've literally just lost 3 stone as well.
Have you?
So,
you weren't getting in this if you didn't. Were you?
Before.
Yeah, you weren't getting in it before.
Yeah.
It's been like a lot of work, but all of it's been worthwhile, and we kind of always had intention of giving it away, so it's just worked out nice. Obviously, last time I think you entered competition for a beef as well, didn't you? Yeah. But we gave that away and it ended up going to the guy in France. Yeah. And it just obviously it made it a bit more. It weren't too bad because obviously it was a French car, giving somebody French. So if he wanted to put it back on road, he could have put that back on road. But obviously, if somebody from like America or Canada had won it, it'd have been a bit of a pain getting rid of it. And I wanted it to be somebody's Christmas present, so it's worked out really nice.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's nice that you're so local as well, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it took you to get here?
Hour 50 minutes.
That's all it's took?
Yeah.
Not too bad then.
I'm like this side of York. So
Right.
Right. For me, it's ideal, really.
But like, it's completely flat code. There's not tons of fuel in it either, which I'm apologise about. We haven't siphoned it, I promise.
So,
but it's.
I can't bother for 25 quid, can I?
I'm sorry. I'll go put you 20 quid's worth in. But we'll go for a little drive, get it warmed up. Yeah. And then we'll get a little bit. Cause I never boot any of our cars until they're warm anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Always make sure they're warmed up. And it generally takes, especially when you've got an oil cooler on, probably nearly twice as long to warm oil up as it does to warm coolant up. So if your coolant's all the way up to temp, it's probably alright to start getting it some fuel lights on. But can't believe it. But it's obviously you don't want to be like trying to do a top speed run if it's only just up, you know what I mean? Use your brain, it's one of them things. And what we generally say with cars, if we've doubled power, which we kind of have on this, you need to, or not far off, you want a half service interval, so it just wants an oil and filter every 6 or 7 foul, and a full service every 2 services. So we generally do, like, next it's due probably in 5 or 6 foul, I'd probably want it to do like 110, so like 7 foul. I'd probably do a full service, oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, just do everything. And then next one, just do an oil filter again, and then.
I mean, I'll probably bring it back to yourselves.
Yeah.
You're not far away, you know the car.
Well, exactly.
It seems a logical thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yes.
There's one thing I was going to say, you're probably not hearing it because it all rained now, but you'll hear a rattle when you're going over bumps and you think something's absolutely falling off car, it's them front brakes. So just if it's too annoying for you, let us know in New Year and we'll just swap them for. We've got some S5 brakes with some good pads and discs and stuff. We'll swap them for them. But it wouldn't either. I'm going to use them S5 ones on next project, or I'd put these on. So it made no difference to me really. But I just thought I don't want to be taking what could be seen as all trick bits off it.
I mean, I'm probably only going to use the car on weekends or stuff anyway. And
It's an It's an absolute beast for everything. It does everything good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I say, it's...
Like it'd be nice if you can join us when we go on track days and stuff, just come in this and just, even if you just have a few parade laps round and have a...
Yeah, it'd be something I'd like to do, to be fair, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never really...
I'm only tickling it here.
Yeah, I've never had anything faster. I've had a TT,
right,
probably 250 horsepower or something, but...
different animal again.
Pales in comparison.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's probably got nearly 3 times the torque of the TT.
Yeah. We were very surprised when we first built it, because we got it all finished, and I never took it on track, and then we said, oh, we'll get these big brakes on and we'll do this and we'll do that. And we literally got the big brakes fitted about half an hour after we should have set off to go for an evening track day at Donington.
Right.
So we literally never tested them out. Come down bypass, pressed brakes, and something went wrong with one of the suspension bushes. We'd put it in and had it what positioned it wanted to turn back round on its head.
Oh, okay.
So we had to come back and do alignment again, and then we set off and shot down motorway to Donington. I went on track and I was like, to say it's a big heavy car, and it had only got, I think, 370 horsepower maybe at the time. It was like ridiculous, and it were on NS2R tyres as well.
Yeah.
We were coming into first corner at Redgate, big braking zone, and just hitting brakes as hard as I could. I was like, this is mega. It just turning was good, because the biggest change that we made, really, obviously it's got decent suspension on it, but the biggest change that we made for feel were them rear toe arms. As soon as we put a bit of toe art on it, it just rotates so nice. Like, people always go about Audi's been front heavy and everything, but they have like 6 degrees of toe in on back, so they're never gonna oversteer. They're always gonna understeer.
Yeah.
So obviously when we did that, we just dialed that all out, and you can't get it to like drift, but when you turn back end forwards front, it's not like front's just pushing on and away you go. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So if, like say, if we took it to Ring, it did have this suspension on at Ring, but we took it to Ring, Spa, it's done all them sort of, and it's been on all over on road, and it's done everything perfect, you know what I mean? It's like as good an all-round car as I think you're going to get, especially for the money it costs if somebody you're going to buy one. It costs us 25 quid, you're definitely not going to get it better. But
well, I said I never realised how cheap you can actually get the standard car for now. Yeah,
you can get one for probably, I bet you get a crap one for $6 grand.
Yeah.
You want to probably spend about 10 on one if you're going to get one that you're going to tune up.
Yeah.
But if you just want an A5 and put a tune on it, you can get one for 6 or 7 grand.
But like you say, when you look at them as well, and you like you say, when you think brand new, they're probably 45 grand, 50 grand.
I'd have said a top one's probably in 40s, This weren't a tidy top spec one by any stretch. It was a fairly basic one.
Yeah.
But it was a good base to start putting all your stuff on. Because if you buy a top spec S-line with all toys, how far can you actually go with it?
Yeah.
Because we'd sort of said we were going to get away, but we probably thought next year. But we got everything crammed in and did it really nice, and it just all worked out. We'd done that much stuff that just worked out nice. It was good. Except big turbo blowing up all the time. That were just some unfortunate turns of events.
Yeah. I mean, was that just, it was 500 horsepower, like a figure you had in your head and thought?
Yeah, I wanted 550 really.
Right.
But there was still probably a bit more in this at that. But the problem you've got is this Gen 1 gearbox.
Yeah.
It don't like over 600 foot-pound of torque. So once you start asking for a bit more, and then a bit more power as well, it just started slipping clutch and stuff like this. Is a 400 horsepower, 600 pound. Perfect for this car.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. And you literally, I know you could take this everywhere and just kick its head in. You've got oil coolant gearbox and on engine.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna give you any trouble. Like we were at Castle Coombe, just absolutely smashing it round. And we had a turbo problem, but that because oil cooler pipe was sort of rooted in a way and it got a bit kinked. But once we sorted that out, it weren't this turbo, it were another one, a similar one.
Yeah.
We put another turbo on it and carried on the rest of the day, and it were absolutely fine. So.
Yeah.
But just on the control side of things, that does nothing. That used to do nitrous. It says ejector seat there.
It might have been the nitrous.
But you've got water injection down here, so you know that's on when these lights are flashing. When you put your foot down, it should come on at like 26, 27 psi, which is like not full boost, but not far off.
Right.
Well,
how does that work then?
It literally, you turn that switch on and it just comes on when you've got your foot flat down.
Yeah.
We'll get a turn traction off as well. Get a little launch. Same. Oh. I'm knocked into manual somehow there as well. It's not slow. It's just easy to drive. Yeah. Brakes work good as well.
Yeah.
But that's like touching them. That work good. Obviously ABS will kick it in because it's wet, but
yeah,
you'll never fade these brakes.
Yeah.
We weren't meant to have gone into manual then. I meant to have gone into sport.
Oh. What's the difference with the sport then?
Well, if you put it in manual, it'll not auto upshift. If you put it in sport, it just changes at like $5,000. So I'll show you the difference there. Like if you drive most of the time, you're probably going to drive it in sport. The only time sport's annoying is if you're on track, and it'll sort of, you just go in, you'll brake, and it'll probably not change down as quick as you want, or when you want.
Oh, right.
And then you'll come out of the corner, if you're just feathering it in, it might change up a gear.
Yeah.
When really they just left it and feathered through it,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But in sport, it gives you loads of in gear. Absolutely tons. Like I was driving a 4 Series BMW yesterday with same power as this, a little bit less torque, but same power.
Yeah.
And that were rear wheel drive, and there's no way you can come out in a roundabout at 20 mile an hour and put your foot down.
Yeah,
Still at like
just wanted to go.
60 mile an hour it wants to wheel spin, whereas this just foot down, no messing. And it'll just keep taking it all day.
Yeah.
So then brakes, you're not even, when you're on track, hit that pedal as hard as you can and it just goes.
It just stops.
But the Bilstein dampers that are on are
Yeah.
absolutely mint, because like now we've softened up, you could probably soften off another click and make it a bit more supple on road. But on track, you literally just go to track, click them up 2 or 3 clicks, and it's stiff again, you know, back to where you want it. Not running over edge at tyres, like it's not hard on tyres, it's not hard on brakes, it's not hard on anything, you know what I mean? It's just perfect. Go on, out you go. It's going to take some doing to build a car, at least for us to build another car that competes with this anyway.
Yeah, it's just like a genuine good all-round car as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's got a bit of everything. Yeah, it's got a bit of everything, and it does it all so well. It's not like a lot of cars that we have to build. I'm not going to probably do that. I'm going to do this, but I'll make it happen. Like a lot of cars that we build, like for customers and for ourselves, you'd have to make a lot of compromises.
Yeah.
And with this, it doesn't seem to have any. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you want something that's the fastest on track, then you won't choose something that weighs 1,500, 1,600 kilograms. But when you wanted to go on to Nürburgring, something that like City Go, it's not mega light, but it's not mega heavy.
Yeah.
But it's short. It sort of feels nimble when you're on track. But when you're at Nürburg, it was terrifying because it was just so easy for it to get out of shape compared to something like this.
Yeah, I suppose it's because it is so short and compact.
Yeah. And if you're wanting to go cruising across Europe, do a couple of laps at Nürburg, this is the perfect car because it's automatic, comfortable, nice to drive. And when we went to Belgium and Germany with it, they were in M4. Them guys in M4s were fueling up 3 times more than we were. Yeah. So it doesn't do 50 mile per gallon, but it doing 12 like they're doing when they're kicking its head in. And obviously when you're on track, you've got your harnesses.
Yeah.
So you just pull them through and clip them. In foot road, there's no point. Might as well just use.
Yeah, I've had
seatbelts.
harnesses before, and they're more hassle than the world.
Yeah. Like these are probably the best harnesses you can get for a road car because they've got like I think it's that side. They've got like a proper clasp, whatever it's got. It's on side one. These are the only ones that are actually road legal.
Right.
So, but it just, like I say, it's got everything. It's got all the toys. We've done everything we've built it like we weren't going to give it away.
Yeah.
And like Scott, who used to run about it a bit more than I did, it's like, well, what we're replacing it with. So we just bought another A5.
Yeah, no,
so,
that's all that is.
But yeah, it's
cool, isn't it?
yeah, let's have a look under the bonnet anyway. So what do you reckon then?
Yeah.
Amazing, it does what it needs to do. Under the bonnet, don't look out too fancy.
Yeah.
That's not plugged in because it's there now.
Right.
When we put the bigger rail pressure sensor in, you swap it over. So it's not that we forgot to plug it in. That's just there. Obviously DPS in place at minute. But you do what you want with that one. Everything else is pretty much as it should be. There's nothing bodged up on it because when we built it, we knew we were going to Germany and it had to be absolutely right. Fill your water injection up in there. So you can just put water in if you want to, or 50-50 methanol. Some screen washers 50-50 water methanol anyway, so you can just put that in. Just make sure you don't use ethanol because it won't work. Might cause you some problems. Yeah, pretty standardish underneath.
Yeah.
And brakes, reason why they rattle, because they're British touring car discs. And they're floating bobbins, so to stop it knocking pads off and you're having a long pedal, they just rattle about. But if you want them swapping, like I say, no problem for us to do it. It's like if you booked it in some time early in New Year, we can do it in a few hours. It's not a big deal. But do you want to jump in driver's seat and you have a go out in it then, eh?
Yeah, give it a try.
So, your turn. You drove an auto before?
Not for a very long time. No.
Right, just usual foot on brake. Pull
Brake.
it to sport if you want. Might as well go straight
Do you
to.
need the button on
Yeah,
top?
push. Yeah. All the way down. Traction's off. I'll turn that back on so you don't crash.
Yeah.
But no, to be fair, in this,
I was handbrake.
foot on brake and then just push it down.
Just push it down.
There we go.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool.
I didn't know I was teaching you how to drive as well.
Oh no. I drive 500 quid bangers usually. You have to put handbrake up to 12 o'clock.
Yeah. But you don't need to go out too crazy. Drive exactly how you're comfortable. All you want to know, let me know. But it's easy to drive. Once you get used to it, you'll probably not want a manual car again. They're
my mate,
just so easy to drive.
T5 Sportline.
Right,
And
DSG one.
Yeah, and he said now he's had that.
Yeah.
He says he's not interested in having anything.
No. Yeah, I've got a T5 Sportline as well, but I wanted a DSG, but I ended up with a manual one to come at right money. And my missus likes it, but I'd have preferred a DSG definitely.
Yeah, his missus loves it. Like.
Go lefty and then we'll go round about and back.
It's quite effortless as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
No, it's just easy to drive. Just when you want more, you've got it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like it's not an all or no car. If you don't put your foot all the way down, you can still get on with it. You know what I mean? Give it a little squeeze if you want. It's got like a kick down button as well, so if you go all the way down, it'll kick down again as well.
Right.
It's alright, isn't it?
I don't think by the time it takes to get to 100 and time it gets to 50 and it don't feel like as fast as you're going either.
There's no drama because
it's still quite comfy and
just
civilised as such.
Yeah. I've just been on about it with guys upstairs. Like a lot of what we do is front wheel drive stuff. So in this, if you put your foot flat down in fourth gear with 300 horsepower, you're just going to roast tyres.
Yeah.
But with this, you come out and around at 20 like we were earlier, mat it and no happens.
Yeah.
It's round and back down this
Round
one.
and back down.
Yeah, we'll be stuck at end if not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just easy to drive, which is obviously not always a good thing.
No.
Because you can get on with it a bit more than you probably should, but you've got that obviously Quattros are good in snow, in wet, in everything, but we've also made sure it's got decent tyres, decent brakes, decent suspension, because there's no point being able to get to 100 mile an hour in snow if or whatever if you can't stop. And exactly.
Yeah, like I say, it's for a car. It's basically a track car in it.
Yeah.
Track car in it. but it don't.
Yeah.
It still feels like you're driving a civilised
Yeah,
car.
this is where I'm on about with, like, if we tried making a Skoda Fabia go around track as quick as this would, it wouldn't be this nice to drive on road. Do you know what I mean? It's not. We haven't had to give away that much to make it do what we want to do. It's just easy, isn't it? Like, you're not torque steering over. You're not. Might be worth just pull over here and stop a sec. Right. Foot hard up brake, all the way down up throttle, and then let it off. Left foot off brake. So this is not, because this is the Gen 1 DSG, you can't have like a true launch control.
Right.
You're basically just holding gearbox against brake. Right. Whereas the Gen 2s, you can have it where it's not trying to grab as much.
Right.
It only just slips them a little bit, whereas this is like trying to go, so you just foot on brake.
Stop at the same time, basically.
Yeah. So you just literally foot flat down and let it brake, foot flat down, let your foot off brake as soon as your foot's gone down, and off you go.
Yeah.
That's why this weren't as good with that massive turbo, because you'd have to sit there for a bit longer to try and get it to go, and you're just going to break. You're just going to break somewhere. So, but it's just easy to drive. Yeah. Like, you pull up at a set of traffic lights, so you want to go quick. You don't have to do all. You're not like in newer cars where you're pressing loads of buttons and messing about. You just put your foot down and you're off. Which I think we a lot of refine. If we spent ages and ages faffing about, we could definitely bring this into like the low 3s to 60.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like driving it don't feel like it's been modified to nearly double its power.
No.
You know what I mean? It feels like
it could have come out of factory with that sort of power. Yeah, which we're just right. But it's one of them things. I think it's a bit daunting. Like if you said to someone, "Oh, you're going to have to drive this car," you'd be thinking, "Oh, it's going to be all over the road.
Yeah,
it's going to be."
I was a bit like that. Like I said, I've never had anything. Any sort of league anywhere near this.
Yeah. So James has just been trying to scare me to death. It's not really. Pretty sedate, but it's. What do you reckon then?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, really.
Well, worth 25 quid?
Yeah.
I'd hope so.
Probably a little bit more, but yeah, no.
They've just been saying while we're off camera, you're getting a new house today as well, so it's. You have to show off to neighbours, pulling up in your fancy car.
Or annoying neighbours.
Annoying neighbours, yeah, with noisy exhaust.
Yeah,
sweet. Well, thank you for coming anyway, and we'll go upstairs and do some paperwork, and we're all good. But I'll check your hand on camera.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much anyway. Enjoy it. You know where we are if you need help. We're not going anywhere. And when it wants a service, out else. Give us a shout.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, cheers. You too. Thank you very much.
Happy New Year as well.
See you later. Cheers.